Hello everyone, welcome back to Sujit Analytics. This is a continuation of PowerPoint tutorials for beginners. In this tutorial, let's see what is DAX and its importance. So, DAX stands for Data Analysis Expressions. It is a formula-based language used to define custom calculations. That is, so a DAX is a formula language used in Power BI as well as analysis services, Tabular, and Power Pivot in Excel to define custom calculations. What is the purpose of the DAX? It allows us to create new information from the data already present in our model, performing aggregations, time intelligence, and complex filtering. So, using DAX, we can understand the data better. We can perform better data analysis. Think of DAX as an analytical engine that sits on top of your data model. If Power Query is used to shape your data, DAX is used to analyze and summarize it. So, using DAX, we can perform better analysis and we can perform better summarize the data and we can have better understanding of our data. So why is DAX essential? DAX is essential because it moves Power BI beyond simple visualization into advanced business intelligence. It allows us to answer the business questions that simple drag and drop aggregation cannot do. Using DAX, you can answer the business questions easily. How my business is performing, where the business is going down. So that type of questions we can answer using DAX. So in DAX is concerned, DAX is used to define two measures. Is a measure and calculate columns. Calculate column. DAX mainly used for these two purposes: creating custom measures and custom calculated columns. Let's see what is a measure. A measure is a single aggregated value. Aggregated value that tells something about your data. DAX is a single aggregated value that tells something about your data. Suppose you have a sales data. You measure tell what is the profit. Is one measure. What is the total sale amount? And what is the quantity sold? What is the maximum amount? So in these measures, we can define these measures: profit, total sale amount, quantity sold, maximum. So once we define measures, we can use these measures in our visualizations to present the data meaningfully. So this defines the measures. So is it easy to you understand better? So to create measures, we have you can create in three ways: in report view, in table view, and as well as model view. So let's go to report view. In the report view, when you see new measure, when we click on this, it is showing write a DAX expression that calculates a value from your data. So go to click on new measure. I have the already data in my model, which is customers, products, stores, and sales. So it is a formula based language. First, we have to give a variable. I'm giving variable name as total sale amount. This is my variable name. So this is the equal. Here from here the formula starts. First, we have to create a measure. We have to define any aggregate function. So let's see some aggregate functions for this measure. So I'm using aggregate function sum of I want sum of the sale amount in the fact sales table. DAX sales table have columns, have okay, the sum of the quantity. So to refer quantity, first we have to use a table name. The table name is direct sales. Then you start the square brackets. Next, we have to give the quantity. I'm summing up this column, so I'm choosing this column. So we can't commit. Now the measure is created. The measure is defined with a calculated measure. I want to create total average quantity sold. For that, I'm using AVG, average function, average of same column. Same column is fact sales of table, name is fact sales of, and square bracket, the column name, quantity. Close the square bracket and close the main bracket. Commit. Now see, a new measure is created, average quantity sold. Let's create a measure for minimum quantity sold. Click on new measure, minimum quantity sold, minimum column name is table name is fact sales of quantity, and let's create for maximum quantity sold. New measure, max quantity sold, max fact sales of quantity. Click on commit. Now we created four DAX measures: average quantity sold, max quantity sold, minimum, and the total. So once we define measures, we can use these measures in reports in our visualizations. So to display these measures, I'm using a card chart, multi-row card. In this multi-row card, we can define multiple measures. We can display multiple measures. So if I want to display all these measures, we have to drag and drop. Drag and drop. Or we can choose check the box. Maximum, minimum quantity, the total selling. Now see, the measure is showing up the value. The maximum quantity sold is 10. The minimum quantity sold is 1. Average quantity sold 3.23. Total sale amount 129. But it is, I think, this total quantity, not sale amount. QTY sold. These are the measures. We define the measures and we use the measures in a card chart, which use to display some measures. So we call it as a matrix. Total quantity sold, minimum quantity sold. These are the some metrics. This is about measures. We can define as many of measures we want, but we have to ensure the measure is useful in our analysis or visualization. So what we have done here is we have created some aggregate measures, or we can call it as aggregate DAX functions. Some maximum, minimum, count, average. These are the aggregate DAX functions. So when we talk about calculated column, it is a column created from existing column. It's a column created from existing column. So in real-time scenarios, we don't get the fully data. We have to create our own columns. In that cases, this calculated columns helps better, very helpful because so when we go for a data model, the table view, suppose here the same name the column is not given. Delete this column. So in the sales table, I have the sales key, order date, quantity, price, customer ID, product ID, store ID, month. But I don't have the actual measure, which is the total sale amount. So what is the total sale amount made by each in the specific order date? So without that, we cannot analyze the data. We cannot analyze the data. We cannot make better decisions. So the sale amount is important in this table. So, but we have only the quantity and unit price. Using this quantity and unit price, we can create a new column, which is sale amount. To find sale amount, we know that we multiply the quantity into price. So we will get a new column. So in the same way, we can define calculated columns. So to define calculated columns, go to table view, click on new column. So when you click on new column, here the column is created. You will give the column name as total sale or give sale amount. How we calculate the sale amount? We multiply quantity into price. Quantity is from which table it is coming from? Is from fact sales table. Fact sales of quantity. So when we are using column, we have to start with square brackets. Quantity into price. Price is also coming from fact sales table. So that's why I'm using fact sales table. Quantity unit price. Commit. Now the new column is created. Is the sale amount. So 5 into 12.5, 2.5. 2 into 45, 90. So it multiplies every row. So it performs row by row calculations. And so we can, in this way, we can create new columns. Suppose a store table, we can create a new column combining store name and region. Product table, we can also create new column by adding product name and a category. So let's create a new column, product name and a category, giving us I want to concatenate this. So for that, the table is product, new product of product name is new product of category. Come okay. Can come out coffee mug value type to number. Product name and a category. For this, we can have a function concatenate. Column name is new product category. Another column name is new product of product. Now this combined the product name, The category name is combined into a single column. This then give a meaningful column product category. In this way, we can extract new columns. It's very helpful when in our data some columns are missing when we want to new derived features. Calculated column is very helpful. This is about measure and calculated columns. So one thing you have to know that here the measure works on filter context. Works on filter context means it is behaves based on a filter applied. So if you change any filter to a specific region or specific retailer, it returns only the specific data. When you choose calculate column, it works on row context. Means it performs row by row calculations. Does not perform filter context. So that is the difference between a measure and the calculate columns. Measure works on filter context means it behaves differently based on the filters applied. But the calculated columns does not react to filters. They work on row context. This is about measure sign columns. So this is about DAX. I hope you understand. If you believe you learned something today, don't forget to give a like and share with your friends who are learning Power BI. That's all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial.